And then I'm gonna go to the live stream and let's see what happens on Facebook, y'all. Here we go. Okay, I think, yeah, it's live. So there we have it, y'all. So let me share. Okay, can y'all see the slides? Can you see that?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Well, here we go. Okay, everyone, welcome to the Wichita Coalition Reparations Update. We wanted to do this today because there has been a lot of steps that have went into this reparations movement, and I just want to be clear to everyone that this is a movement. It is not a moment, and it's been a lot that has been put into this. And I just want to, we just want to update you on some of the things that have happened up until October the 2nd of this year. And I want to thank those who are joining on the Zoom and those of you who will join us on Facebook Live. We appreciate it very much. Okay, here we go. The Wichita Coalition, advancing equity, uniting for reparations and justice in Wichita. What is the Wichita Reparations Coalition? The Wichita Reparations Coalition, WRC, was created to ensure that the appointed commission operates effectively, maintains transparency, and excuse me, and ultimately contributes to meaningful progress on reparations in Wichita. The Wichita Coalition members would be involved in overseeing the appointed commission to study reparations in Wichita and would likely have the following duties. Number one, guidance and direction. Provide strategic guidance and direction to the commission, ensuring that their objectives align with the broader goals of the coalition and community. Number two, accountability. Monitor the commission's progress and ensure they adhere to their mandate, timelines, and deliverables. This includes regular check-ins and reviews of their work. Number three, resource allocation. Assist in securing and allocating necessary resources, including funding, expertise, and community support to ensure the commission can effectively conduct its study. Continuing. Number four, community engagement. Facilitate communication between the commission and the community, ensuring that community voices and concerns are heard and integrated into the study process. Number five, research oversight. Ensure the commission's research methodologies are rigorous, ethical, and inclusive, and that the findings are accurate and representatives of the effective Black communities. Number six, advocacy. Advocate for the commission's findings and recommendations within broader municipal or state government structures and help push for the implementation of suggested reparations measures. Number 7, reporting. Require regular reports from the commission and disseminate these findings to relevant stakeholders, including the community, local government, and coalition members. Number 8, conflict resolution. Address and mediate any conflicts or issues that arise within the commission or between the commission and the community. Now, I want to get to a timeline before October the 2nd. The timeline before the reparations ordinance was submitted to Wichita Mayor Lily Wu and City Council members on Wednesday, October 2, 2024. And before we wrote a letter and submitted the revised ordinance, there were steps that we took before. There was a timeline. And I want to go through that timeline with everybody because this was not a rush process. When thinking about this, those of us who have been a part of this movement have put in a lot of time and effort and research to make sure that we're doing the right things when it comes to reparations for Wichita Black residents. And Prophet, I don't want to mess up your name, Prophet Anna Wu, A.N. Cox. Don't judge me. Don't judge me, Prophet. She has been a big help, and so have others, in making sure that we're putting the correct language inside the ordinance. Okay. October 2023. Mary Dean wrote a letter to Governor Laura Kelly, Mayor Lily Wu, and the city council members to request the creation of a commission to study reparations for 40,916 Blacks in Wichita and over 178,000 Blacks in the state of Kansas. In November 2023, we attended the Wichita Council of Elders monthly meeting to request their support for Kansas Justice Advocates movement to get the state and the city to create a commission to study reparations for the 40,916 Blacks in Wichita and over the 178,000 Blacks in the state of Kansas. December 2023, we were present for the Richard Robinson CBA group incorporating meeting to garner support from the collaborative with Kansas Justice Advocate for a study at the city and the state levels on reparations. December 2023. Numerous letters were sent out to various organizations and individuals to invite them to Kansas City, Missouri, attorney Mickey Dean's presentation on reparations scheduled for Monday, January 8, 2024 at 6 p.m. January 3, 2024, spoke to this South Central Legislative Delegation to talk about the reparations movement across the country for Blacks, and the state of Kansas should be a part of it, was part of the talking points to the delegation. At that point, Senator Olitha Fausto announced publicly that she, along with Representative Ford Carr, had asked for a post-audit on reparations for Blacks in the state of Kansas. Prophet was in that meeting, attended that meeting as well. Tuesday, January 4, 2024, spoke before the Greater Wichita Ministerial League, inviting the group to attend Kansas City, Missouri attorney Mickey Dean's January 8th presentation on Zoom to educate and inform them what reparations are about. So I just want to show people there's a timeline when it comes to what we have done to encourage a creation of a commission to study reparations in Wichita for Black residents. January 8th, 2024. Kansas Justice Advocate sponsored Attorney Mickey Dean's presentation on Zoom about reparations to educate and inform people who attended. There were 25 people from various parts of the country that attended the presentation. Cities present were Wichita, Kansas City, Missouri, Kansas City, Kansas, Detroit, New Jersey, Chicago, New York, Virginia, Mississippi, Louisiana, Boston, and St. Louis, Missouri. Senator Oletha Fauske-Deau asked Mickey Dean several questions. Senator Fauske-Deau told Mickey Dean about her and Representative Ford Carr asking for a post-audit for reparations in Kansas for Blacks. Senator Oletha Fauske-Deau is also the first Black woman senator ever in the state of Kansas. I put that in there because it's true. Per the post-audit, from everything that was the information that was sent to Senator Fauske-Deau, there's nothing that the state can do when it comes to any history about Kansas and reparations. I was given the name of a professor at KU to contact about, data and information. Left a message for her, called her several times, and have yet to hear from her. February 1, 2024, Kansas Justice Advocate sponsored a virtual event called Let's Talk Reparations with a panel of guests. The virtual was live on Facebook, and it was shared with all my social media outlets, like on Facebook, Instagram, X, formerly Twitter, and I emailed the link to people for them to observe. I wanted to make sure to let them know that they could go to my YouTube channel and look at the video, the Zoom video as well. February 2, 2024, Benita Gooch and PJ, I'm not going to mess up PJ's name. She's a reporter for the Community Voice, wrote a story about the activists, advocates for establishment Wichita Reparations Commission. February 5, 2024, submitted a proposed ordinance with 2 addendums to Councilman Michael Hohausel of District 3 and Councilman Brandon Johnson of District 1. Councilman Johnson responded to say that the ordinance and the addendums look good and that he sent the documents to the law department for review. Councilman Johnson stated that the only change that he was going to recommend is that the mayor would not be the only person to choose who serves on the commission, that he was going to make sure that the council members would be able to choose members on the commission as well. And at this time, I'm still learning. I'm still learning the process. We didn't know how the process went. I contacted my city councilman, Michael Hohausel. He didn't know a whole lot either. But I was told that they were going to at least get with the city council people in Kansas City, Missouri, and the mayor's office to see what their process was. I don't know if that happened or not, but I don't think they did. Just saying. February 12, 2024. Brock Wilson of KWCH 12 interviewed me for a story saying local activists calling for reparations commission in Wichita. February 13th, 2024. Mayor Dean, president of Kansas Justice Advocate, went before the mayor and the city council with members and community supporters also came for them to show support and vote for an ordinance with the addendums created to create a commission to study reparations with remedies for Black people in Wichita, and for Wichita to join other cities such as Kansas City, Missouri, San Francisco, Amherst, Massachusetts, North Carolina, Providence, Rhode Island, Boston, St. Paul, Minnesota, Detroit, New York City, Los Angeles, Berkeley, Sacramento, and Oakland to do a study on reparations for the 40,000. I just want to let people know how many Black people are here in the city of Wichita. 40,000, 916,000 Blacks in the city of Wichita. M. Dean was told that the reparations ordinance was in the city's law department to be reviewed for 30 to 60 days. And so the reporter, Brock Wilson, after we left the chambers, he wanted to know, okay, are you all right with the 30 to 60 days? And I said, sure. If that's what they're going to be doing, reviewing it in the law department for 30 to 60 days, I thought that was great. And I think everybody else that attended that city council, the mayor city council meeting said the same thing. We thought, okay, that's great, 30 to 60 days. They're thinking about it. It's in the law department. February 22, 2024. Kansas Justice Advocate created a PowerPoint presentation about the mayor and city council members creating a commission to study reparations in Wichita. That was also shared on all my social media outlets. It's on my YouTube channel for people to go and view it. Everything that I do that's pertains to anything when it comes to reparations and all my other deals I do, seasoned women, it goes on my YouTube channel. And still in February of 2024, still, you have to understand who creates the commission. So I'm still learning. We all are. We're still learning. Friday, March 8th, 2024. Kansas Justice Advocate had a reparations petition drive at the Urban League of Kansas, 2418 East 9th Street North, with the help of John L. Boulder. He sat with me that whole day for people that was coming in and out to sign the petition drive to be, given to the mayor and the city council to show that their support throughout, not just here in Wichita, but throughout the country, to create a commission to study reparations in Wichita. March 9, 2024, Kansas Justice Advocate, Inc. held a reparations petition drive at Pastor David Child's Paradise Baptist Church, 4401 East 17th Street North. Present to help were John L. Boulder, Prophet Anahu, oh Lord, Cox, and Ernest Cox. She's gonna slap me, and I'm sorry. I'm just going to say Prophet Cox from now. I'm doing injustice on folks' name. Monday, March 11, 2024, Kansas Justice Advocate Inc. held a reparations petition drive at ICT Launchpad, 3926 East 13th Street North, and that is Bruce Graham's facility. And he was gracious enough to let me use that to do a petition drive, reparation petition drive at his venue.
Mary,
Monday, March.
was that Bruce or Bryce?
Bryce. Oh, did I say Bruce? I'm sorry. Thank you for correcting me, Prophet. Bryce Graham. I'm sorry. Yeah, Bryce Graham. That is his facility. ICT Launchpad. Monday, March 18, 2024. Kansas Justice Advocate held a reparations petition drive at Wichita State University Radican Student Center, 1845 Fairmont Street, number 56, at table number 20. And so there were a lot of students that and adults, teachers, professors, I guess that's who they were, that signed that petition. Matter of fact, one young lady who signed it, she said, I'm gonna go straight to my class because I don't understand why no one's talking about this, because I can guarantee you that there will be more people coming here to sign it. I said, okay, well, thank you. And she did. And they came and they signed it with joy. They were just happy to do it, and they were passing the word around. So I got a lot of signatures that day for on that petition. And I'm gonna mention my sister, Melanie Miller. She came there, she sat with me for a little while, and she signed the petition. So, you know, there's a lot of people who have, you know, gave their signatures and their time to support this reparations movement. And I want to thank them. On 3/11/24, Kansas Justice Advocate wrote letters to various organizations requesting their support with a letter to the mayor and the city council members to establish a commission to study reparations in Wichita. Letters went to organizations such as the Wichita Council of Elders, Sunflower Community Action Organization, sororities, fraternities, the Divine Nine, the NAACP, the Kansas Black Legislative Caucus, the Kansas African American Affairs Commission, and Governor Lori Kelly's office. On 3/12/24, Kansas Justice Advocate Inc. received a letter of support to establish a commission to study reparations in Wichita from national organization Journey for Justice in Chicago. And I'm going to get to the letters later on in this presentation. All the letters that we received, I'm going to acknowledge them almost at the end of the presentation. But they were the first. Saturday, March 30, 2024, Kansas Justice Advocate Inc. held a walk-by, drive-by reparations drop with DJ Slim at Rosalind's International establishment. And the present to help me set up at that time were Stacy and John L. Boulder. Tuesday, April 30, 2024, Mary Dean gave Councilman Michael, that's my councilman, Hohauser 5 letters who supported the establishment of a commission to study reparations in Wichita for Black people, and the physical petitions, and I gave them the physical petitions to be shared with the mayor and other city council members. And at that time, I'm still learning. We all still learning how the process is supposed to go when it comes to this movement pertaining to reparations, and a commission to create a study. Tuesday, June 11, 2024, Mary Dean and community supporters went before the mayor and city council members and was told by Councilman Brandon Johnson that the reparations ordinance had been sent to the city's Diversity, Inclusion, and Civil Rights Advisory Board. And at that time, I thought, because I'm just going to say me, I thought this was a good next step. But I'm still yet to learn the true process. But I thought it was good. Duh. Tuesday, June 18, 2024. Mary Dean and Abzeeb Telly went to a scheduled city's DICRAB meeting at the Wichita Public Library Advanced Learning Center, 711 West 2nd Street North. Members were a no-show because the committee did not have enough members to hold a productive meeting. Some city council members had yet to appoint their DICRAB board members. And they had to have known that, when before we showed up. So Abzeeb and I sit there for a while. Me and another young lady came in as well. And we sit there for a while until we said, oh, they're not coming. I think we sit there until 7:30. The meeting was supposed to start at 6. And we sat there until 7:30. And so finally we left. June the 21st and the 22nd, went to Tulsa, Oklahoma to attend the first regional reparations retreat. Prophet and Aziz, they were there as well. Matter of fact, they encouraged me. Prophet encouraged me to go. I wanted to stay here and be a part of the Juneteenth parade, but it was, I kept getting, encouragement and asked to please come to this regional reparations retreat. You will not be disappointed. And thank God I did. Thank God I did. I thank Prophet for keep hammering and, telling me, you need to come, you need to come. You're the one that is the leader of this movement. They need to hear from you and the updates from you about what's going on in Wichita. Thank God I did. So based on a conversation with one of Kansas City, Missouri's commission members about Wichita's ordinance, it was suggested that the first reparation ordinance should be pulled and revised to make the language stronger and then resubmitted. And so I asked, I think that was June. Okay, I'm sorry, June 15th, 16th. I was looking on my calendar, Prophet. I need to change those dates then. Okay, thank you.
It was Juneteenth weekend, so I'm not sure exactly, but I know it was because they had Juneteenth celebration while we were there.
Yeah, but it wasn't the 15th was during the week, so it started like that Friday, that Thursday, y'all were there, and I came down that Friday, and Saturday we left Sunday. So it was the 21st and 22nd. But I'll look at my calendar again.
Check and see. I think I was in Alaska the 22nd, so just check and see.
Okay, I will. So that's what we did. Matter of fact, the WRC members, I sent it to people and asked them to to look at the ordinance, and that's down the line. I know I shouldn't be skipping, but to see what they thought. And a lot of people said it was weak. It was just weak. And so I'm glad that it was pulled, and we worked on making it better. Tuesday, Tuesday, July 16, 2024, I attended the first DICRAB meeting, which is the Diversity, Inclusions, and the Civil Rights Advisory Board, to do a presentation to the board members about the reparations ordinance. That was a weak ordinance, still learning about the process. And, and I remember a conversation that I had with City Councilman Mike Hohausel when I asked him for the petitions, the physical petitions that were that I had given him, and the letters to be shared with the city council and the mayor and all of that. And he had left those at the desk at the public library. But in that, he said that he apologized that he hadn't returned those to me because he didn't realize that they had canceled everything. And that struck me. I'm like, cancel? Why would they cancel anything? So they had no based on that what he said. It wasn't really a conversation, but based on what he said, is like, okay, they done canceled the ordinance, because by being in the law department for all that time, what were the suggestions on the changes in the ordinance? It doesn't appear that there was any, because they canceled it and they moved it over to DICRAB. Come on. July 30, 2024. I sent a request to Mayor Lily Wu and the city council members to pull the first reparations ordinance. And it was pulled to resubmit one that had stronger language in it. August 3, 2024, Mary Dean contacted attorney Mickey Dean, who is the advisor for the Kansas City, Missouri Mayor's Commission to Study Reparations, to provide information about the process of who created their commission and how were the members chosen. Attorney Dean provided M. Dean with information of the criteria of various cities: St. Paul, Minnesota, Boston, San Francisco, Asheville, North Carolina, Detroit, and St. Louis, Missouri, on who submits the names of the people that would be part of a commission, and how many the coalition, community, mayor, and council would choose. Attorney Dean also provided a document of Kansas City, Missouri Mayor's Reparations Commission application form, because they submitted applications to people in the community that they believed had the expertise to be a part of a commission to study reparations. People that knew how to do research, that had financial background, had lawyers, attorney expertise, just a whole lot of various qualities that would ensure that they would do the right thing if they were chosen to be part of the commission to study reparations in those various cities. I've gone on. Does anybody, have any questions? If you do, uh, uh, put them in the chat, or you can ask me right now if you have any questions.
Mary, my question, this is Melody.
Mhm.
My question is, have you gotten a response from Mayor Lily Wu yet?
And that's what I'm about to get to. So
Okay.
no. And that's the reason why I want to do this timeline, to show everybody that we just didn't rush into, being forceful or try to intimidate or anything when it came to what the process that we thought was supposed to be. But after talking to leaders at that retreat in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and Attorney Mickey Dean, we were way off process. We were way off. And really, and I hate to say this, but we were taken as a joke based on what we submitted the first time in February. And then to say that the ordinance was in the law department. Oh, okay. Well, what did the law department do? Because it doesn't appear that they made any changes to the ordinance at all, or any suggestions at all.
Mary, you also had a good meeting with Janae. Is that in here? You had a really good meeting with. Mhm.
Yeah, with I didn't, and I should have had, but yes, Janae Relaford is the chair. I have in here where she submitted a letter, but she's the chair of the Kansas City, Missouri's coalition, and we had a great meeting at the Urban League on a Zoom, where she shared information and gave us information about what they do and how they operate in Kansas City, Missouri, and is willing to help us. She has been willing to help us every step of the way since we met her in Tulsa, to help us any kind of way that we can. All the national leaders that we have a regional or national conversation with on Zoom has given us a lot, Wichita, a lot of help in making sure that the baby steps that we're taking are strong, or not just baby steps, but we're
You have
doing
slides that are left. If you finish that, because you haven't gotten to how you set up the coalition, because she came and spoke to the coalition. So maybe that's a good place to put, because you got a good timeline. But Mickey Dean gave some information, but you continue to get some from her after you got the coalition. So, but anyway, I'll let you go ahead and finish, because some of that I know it's in there.
Yeah, that's, I'm glad you said something. That's something that should be a part of this timeline, because Janae did come and give us a lot of good information on the coalition in Kansas City, Missouri. We're invited to their meetings. Attorney Dean invites us to their meetings that they have on the monthly, and so does Janae. So they have been a big help in helping us learn the process and how the process is made. And I'm not intentionally trying to leave people out. I'm glad Prophet said that, but Janae has been a big help, and so has Attorney Mickey Dean. Appreciate them, because we would be lost if we had not uh, been able to have any connection with them or talk to them or anything. At least
No, but I'm
I
just
would be
saying that
lost.
with your PowerPoint, though, I'm just saying that the order that you have it, Mickey Dean helped, but you continued because by pulling together WRC, you then brought in Janae. And when Janae came, she gave us a lot of really, really detailed information on who does what, when, because what is she, the chair or something of the?
She's chair of the Kansas City Coalition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Mickey is a consultant with her, but that I didn't know if that was in there, but I know where you set up. You have a slide that talks about where you set up the coalition, though.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that was at the first part. Yeah.
Okay, but you have some slides left, so that's why I just was hoping you continue. So
Yeah. That's something that I had to go back and add in, but the AI and the recordings will make sure that Janae has mentioned in the fact that she was a big help to the creation of the coalition. Really, she was a great help.
She was a great help too, don't you think, in rewriting the ordinance too, because specific areas of who does what and where the names come from and how they get channeled and all. I mean, I was particularly impressed with the fact that the way they did it, the community picked the names and then they sent them forth. So I didn't know that in the beginning. So, but anyway, I'll mute so you can.
Yeah, but Mickey Dean provided me with that information
Okay, you already know.
on the
Yeah, I didn't
document.
know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he provided me with a document, the criterias and all of that, and how they chose their commission, how many was chosen, who chose them, and all of that. Mickey Dean did that. He did that for me.
So
So
he made
for
it
us,
clear that the list did not come top down from the mayor and city council. It came bottom up from the community with the names, even though the mayor did put some in there. So that was a correction that we had to make. It that it's up to.
absolutely, because in the original ordinance, it said the mayor would choose, and Brandon Johnson, said that he was going to make sure that the law department put in there that the city council would choose. Well, that ain't how the process is. Like Prophet said, it's from the bottom up, not the top down. We submit the names. The coalition submit the names of who we want to be on the commission, and they can choose at least per our ordinance that was submitted. The mayor has an opportunity to choose at least three, and the city council members can choose three, not three apiece, but three altogether. And then the coalition would choose the other 9.
Correct.
So
Yeah, I was glad to hear that when they talked about that.
yes. Next slide. Oh, the information I did have on here, that the information was provided via email from Mickey Dean on the criteria, how they chose the commission and the members on the commission. Okay, September 30, 2024. Letter and the revised reparation ordinance was sent to Mayor Lily Wu, her assistant Sarah Flick Fernandez, and CC to the city council members per their emails. Hadn't had a response or anything. So on Wednesday, October 2024, due to the mayor nor the
October
city council.
2nd. So it was 2 days. Was it 2 days later? I think October 2nd.
Yeah. I'll put that in there. But yeah, it is October 2nd. Yeah. I'll put that in there. October 2nd, due to the mayor nor the city council members had not responded to their emails, Prophet Cox, Ernest Cox, and I hand delivered the letter and reparations ordinance to their office at Wichita City Hall, 455 North Main. And we took pictures to validate that what we did, because we wanted to make sure that that you know, that the mayor knew, the council members knew, and that the public, the community knew what we did.
Throwing a
This,
little plug, I guess, for Miss, what's his name, Flick Fernandez. While we were in the office, she went to her office and sent a reply. She had not done that, but she responded. She also said that she sent something to the city council to remind them to reply, but they still haven't replied. But at least she did one. She didn't make it CC everybody, but she did one while we were there.
And as of today, I looked on on our WRC Gmail email, and still no response. So, despite our timely submission of the ordinance proposal on September the 30th via email, we have yet to receive a response from the mayor's office. This lack of engagement raises concerns about the commitment to addressing the vital issues of reparations and racial equality in our community. We urge the mayor to acknowledge our correspondence and engage in a constructive dialogue on this critical matter. On October 4th, 2024, Prophet Cox and myself went to KSN's office to be interviewed by a reporter. And these are the questions that they asked. Just, tell us about the paperwork you delivered to the city's leaders yesterday. Have you had any response from the city leaders? Explain the process. And then number 4, which Prophet Cop, and I really didn't catch this until it was time for her to be interviewed. It says, we asked the city to comment on the request for ordinance, and they told us the Diversity, Inclusion, and Civil Rights Advisory Board, DICRAB, and city staff are waiting on the requester to confirm the time they would like to come present to the DICRAB. He asked the question, have you heard that? Or have you had contact with the DICRAB for next steps? Well, while we were sitting there waiting for them to set up the interview, I happened to look at my email, and I had seen that email had been sent to me from one of the people at the board. I think her last name is Metals. I forget her first name, but she wanted to know if I was still wanting to come to the board to present my ordinance to them. And I responded back, no, the ordinance and the letter went to the mayor. She is the leader in the city of all people, including Black people, and that there would be no need for me to present anything at the DICRAB board. And I said, thank you for asking. And I left it at that. And so Prophet said I shouldn't have responded because they should not be in the mix. It's as though they have put the ordinance and anything that has to do with reparations on the Diversity, Inclusion, and the Civil Rights Advisory Board. They have just wanted to just drop the ball. So you can put your input in there, Prophet, but that's,
No, I guess the question, it concerned me because until that day, it's my understanding that while we're sitting there, they sent something to you, but prior to that day, Monday, based on resubmitting that ordinance on Monday, and then Tuesday, and then Wednesday, and then Thursday, because we went on Friday, there was no response from the mayor's office of city council. So our last contact with them, they were sending it. They first were going to do it in 30 to 60 days with the law department and come back to you. They never did that. They didn't respond then. They just said they sent it, but they didn't call you or tell you anything. When we went back down there, that's when they mentioned the diversity, but they didn't tell you that by email. Like the law department looked at it and we decided it was a good idea to send it. They didn't do any of that. They just stayed silent. So you didn't find out about the diversity group until you went back. But once you went back, found out about the diversity, you went to their meeting twice, but they were in disarray. So that this question looks like it skips over the fact that they were in disarray, that they were absent. It looks like you dropped the ball because you didn't keep up with them. That's what I didn't like about the question. It left out a lot of detail. And I was surprised at that TV station that they had a question in there. I don't know where the question came from, but somebody didn't tell the whole story. So yeah, that's why I said it wasn't a good idea to get them involved at this point, because there were too many gaps and lack of information and follow through on the part of City Hall. That was my feeling.
So Prophet Anya, you are spot on. Mary and I had a brief conversation following not the last meeting that was hosted, but I believe it's the meeting before that I was on. And it was before we were going to rewrite and submit or edit and then resubmit the ordinance. And I had a conversation with Carrie Rinker. And Carrie Rinker, who is currently a member and was a member on the committee that we're speaking about. I shared with Mary Dean some of Carrie's comments and her concerns. She didn't have any concerns. Her concerns that I did share with Mary was that possibly, the how comprehensive, and this was not even the edited version. This was your original version that you had shared with the committee. She had shared that possibly because it was so comprehensive, maybe her suggestion was and recommendation was to look at one point that aligns with something that the city's doing, be it maybe housing. So I'm just simply repeating what I had shared with Mary Dean. But you are right. You're right when you say that they dropped the ball on this one. The city of Wichita, they are now, and it was somebody from the city that talked with KSN. That's how, he receives anchors.
Clearly.
Anchors and media persons. They get their questions because they go and they ask the city, well, what are your concerns? And so that, and they ask other people too. But that's exactly where that came from. And they were already trying to set it up where the city had done everything, and that the city was waiting on this one step when you've already taken the step, understanding you edited the product, but you shared that. You didn't get a response originally. You didn't get one with
and it was Melody. No. It was a God thing that we didn't get a response, because the first one would have been a real problem. We didn't know that until we met with people from across the country. So it was a God thing. But that when I heard him read it, well, first of all, we all kind of God-fearing folks, I believe. And so as soon as I heard there was an interview, I knew, just like Mary knows people, city knows people. Oh, yeah. So I kind of thought that there would be some twist. I just wasn't sure what it was until he read that question. It was so convoluted. And so, and we come in there fresh and nervous and all that. And he just rolled that question off his lips as though it made some sense. And it didn't make a lick of sense. So, but they dropped it. But it's concerning, and I don't want to take a lot of time. It's concerning that the city, and to say, and let me say this about talking about housing. No, the answer to me, and of course, Mary and I are working together now. I'm co-chair with her. And so we just work together on it. Every attempt is going to be made to chop it up. We're not trying to do status quo. That's not what this is about. That's not what it's about anywhere, right? Not anywhere on the planet. And all over the planet, they're asking for reparations. So it's not about getting health. And then if we do that, that's it. It's not about just housing. It's about a whole 500-year history that boils down to Wichita in our case. But as we talk to this reporter, he I had an opportunity to tell some of the history, the perpetual, and you probably know the papal bull. And the papal bull, the Pope said that we would be rendered into perpetual servitude. So somebody said, what does that have to do with the present that happened hundreds of years ago? It did, but he put a clause in that thing that said it was to last forever. So we're still under that law. And the International Court of Civil Justice and the United Nations recognizes that. They said it was a crime against humanity, that we are owed reparations on a global level. We're just happen to be talking about Wichita. So to narrow it down to just housing, when we have gone through this, and even if you give housing, there's still something that has to do with perpetual whatever. So I'm just saying there's a lot more to it. So to boil it down, I'm hoping that you and others who are in position, I know you talked to Mary about it, that we stick together on the fact that we have a package. We got a package, and it's not a simple package. It's not a civil rights thing in that kind of way. It is a reparations. And it's a reparations for 500 years of damage. There's not that many years in terms of Wichita, but even when you narrow it down to Wichita, there's a lot of time and a lot of issues that I've only been here 8 years, and I've run into 2 major situations. Anybody coming in the door, because it's a system that was put in place and is strengthened, every place you turn. So I'm hoping that those kind of conversations, like what about making it comfortable and getting it sort of fit with something they got, I hope that don't happen.
Right. And Mary made that very clear. Yeah, Mary made that very clear when we had that conversation. So I wasn't twisted on that one. And I also, let Carrie know that that was not, why should we do that? It's always something that pops up or that comes up that we should be attempting to make this fit what it is. That's how shall I say, the flavor of the day. But when you say when you talk about the papal bull, I also think about doctrines that were put into place. And those doctrines still stand today. You are correct. They have not, people still abide by that. People, and I am talking about major governments, and also principalities. They still abide by some of those eons old, millennial old doctrines that were put in place in order for the power to stay in place. So yeah, I get it.
Well, this particular one specifically says rendered for perpetuity.
Mm-hmm.
So, that means forever. So some of the others, they may have treaties, they may be able to go United Nations and do this, but they would have to go, and you talk about principalities, so they would have to go and rewrite that, because people believed it. The people who put that in place, they were political and religious leaders of the world. So those who hadn't been doing it, they got involved because of that. Then they taught, and what's scary to me is that they then had the responsibility to teach their children and their children. So for 500 years, when people say, well, I wasn't there, no, but your ancestors took that on, and they took that belief system and they passed it on for 500 years to you and to you. Now you're passing it on. So it's something that just has to stop, and it can't be chopped up and thought of it as, well, this is a simple remedy, because it's not.
Right.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to get that wound up about it, but it's like, that's
okay, we're gonna move on to the next slide.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I know, people can be passionate about stuff, so I get it. Okay, here are some compelling reasons why Mayor Wu should respond and be concerned about the systemic harm to Black people in Wichita. Number one, historical injustices. Wichita, like many cities, has a history of racial discrimination and injustice that has had lasting effects on the Black community. Recognizing and addressing these harms is essential for healing and moving forward. Number two, community trust. Engaging with this issue demonstrates a commitment to all constituents, building trust with marginalized communities. It shows that the city's leadership values their voices and concerns. Number three, economic and social benefits. Addressing systemic harm and setting reparations can lead to policies that benefit the entire community, such as economic revitalization and improved social cohesion. 4, moral responsibility. As a leader, Mayor Wu has a moral obligation to address issues of justice and equality, supporting the establishment of a commission to study reparations reflects a commitment to these principles. Number 5, legal precedents. Other cities have taken steps toward reparations, setting legal and social precedents. Wichita could be a leader in this movement for justice. Black residents in Wichita continue to face significant disparities across housing, education, health, and the criminal justice system. Number 1, housing discrimination. In 2021, the Black home ownership rate in Wichita was about 29 percentage points lower than that of white residents, according to a report. The gap remains due to systemic issues, despite laws banning housing discrimination since 1968. Black families often face discriminatory practices during home purchasing processes, including racial profiling based on names, leading to cancellation of sales. 2, education and the school to prison pipeline. Who else left? Okay. A recent Department of Justice investigation found that Wichita Public Schools disproportionately discipline Black students, especially Black girls. Black students were more likely to be suspended or referred to law enforcement for subjective offenses like insubordination. Black girls face higher rates of punishment related to dress code violations or perceived attitude issues. This has contributed to a broader school prison pipeline where harsh disciplinary practices funnel Black students out of classrooms and into the criminal justice system. Okay, Melanie had to drop off. 3, voter suppression laws. Kansas voter laws have become increasingly restrictive, and voter ID laws disproportionately affect Black residents, limiting their participation in elections. Though Pacific Wichita data is scarce, Black communities in Kansas face more obstacles in maintaining their voting rights. 4, health inequality. Health disparities between Black and white residents in Wichita are also stark. Black residents experience higher rates of chronic diseases like hypertension, diabetes, and asthma. These conditions are often exacerbated by unequal access to healthcare services and preventive care, further contributing to premature mortality. Number 5, environmental health injustice. Many Black communities in Wichita are exposed to environmental hazards. Black communities are often located near industrial sites, exposing residents to harmful pollutants that contribute to health issues such as respiratory illnesses. Access to clean air and water in these areas is limited compared to predominantly white neighborhoods, underscoring a form of environmental racism. I want to just, name the people who have sent support letters for the creation of a commission to study reparations for Black residents in Wichita, Kansas. Number 1, Sonia Brown, Journey for Justice, J4J Midwest Regional Organizer, Detroit. Number 2, Presiding President Reverend Titus James, the African American Council of Elders, Wichita, South Central Kansas. Number 3, Mark McCormick, Wichita native. Number 4, Bryce Graham, president of Richard Robinson CBA Group Incorporated, RRCBA. Number 5, Senator Olitha Foscado, Senate Assistant Minority Leader, Kansas Senate District 29. That's her district she represents. Number 6, Nkechi Taiafa. She's the Executive Director of Reparations Education Project, Washington, D.C. Janae Rediford, Chair of the Kansas City, Missouri Reparations Coalition, KCMO. Please don't judge me when I make these mispronouncements on these names. Highway Bob.
Oh, Sapiwe,
Okay.
Sapiwe Baleka. Yeah, he's in Guinea-Bissau.
Yeah. He's the founder of Alana B. Urasa, History and Genealogy Society in America, and that's in Missouri. Cam Howard.
He's actually in Africa. He lives in Africa.
Okay. It said Missouri, but anyway. Cam Howard, Executive Director of Reparations United, Chicago, Illinois. Kenneth Henry, co-founder of National Coalition of Blacks for Reparations in America, Washington, D.C. Lottie Liapdullah, founder of Reparations for Slavery, and Will Bowles, Kansas City Commissioner for the Mayor's Commission on Reparations. Those people, not just here, but across the country, provided letters of support to the mayor and the city council and the law department and DICA, CRAB to create a commission to study reparations in Wichita. Kansas Justice Advocate Inc., KJ Inc., and Wichita Reparations Coalition.
Mary, before you leave the letters, because we never got a letter from First Repair, but I still want to put a plug in for them because they gave us 5 scholarships to the retreat where we got the information about pulling it. So that was one of the things they did.
Thank you for that. Kansas Justice Advocate Inc., KJA Inc., and Wichita Reparations Coalition, WRC, have been raising several important questions to Mayor Lily Wu and the city council members regarding the creation of a commission to study reparations in Wichita for Black residents. Here are some of the key questions that should be asked of them. Number 1, why has there been no response from the mayor or city council members about the letter and reparations ordinance sent via email on September 30, 2024 to create a commission to study reparations in Wichita for Black constituents? Number 2, what are the specific reasons for the delay or the refusal to address the issue of reparations? Number 3, how does the city plan to address the historical and ongoing impacts of racial discrimination and inequality faced by Black residents? Number 4, what steps are being taken to ensure that the voices of Black residents are heard and considered in city governance? Number 5, are there any plans to engage with community leaders and organizations to discuss the potential benefits and challenges of a reparations commission? Number 6, how does the city council plan to build trust with the Black community if their concerns are not being addressed? And number 7, what examples from other cities that have initiated reparations programs are being considered or studied by Wichita's leadership? And they have not given not one. It has been suggested to them who they could talk to, not just the mayor's office, not just the coalition in Kansas City, Missouri, but other cities across the country that have established commissions when it comes to reparations. And the first thing people want to say, well, look at what happened to Evanston. I want folks to know right now that Evanston, Illinois, are still distributing those $25,000 checks to those people who qualified for them, irregardless of the lawsuit. They are still distributing those funds. So stop trying to throw Evanston, out there and say, well, look what happened to Evanston. It's always a way to distract and cause fear and hesitation on what it is that we have fought for forever. That has been the roadmap for a lot of people to use against Black people is fear. And we have nothing to be afraid of, nothing but fear itself. And so it's important that this movement is embraced because that's what it is. It's a movement to make changes within for Black people within this city. And the leaders should embrace it as well. The leaders of this city should embrace it as well. So, here's how individuals and organizations can support the creation of a commission to study reparations in Wichita. This is your Mayor, Lily Wu. Her phone number is there. The mayor's and the city council members' addresses there. You can email or write a letter or call and ask, why is there a delay and hesitation in doing this? What is the problem? Why is it that people can come out, these elected officials can come out when it's time for elections and ask for the Black vote, but they can't come out and say that we support this reparations ordinance to just study. Just do a study for the systemic harms that have been impacted against Black people in all segments: housing, wealth gap, Black economics, health inequality, school to prison pipelines. Come on. Voter suppression, environmental injustice. Come on. These are the people that you should contact. Your mayor and your city council. Here are the emails. That's the address. Don't be afraid to do what you need to do when it comes to making sure that the issues that are impacting you, they know about them. And there's a way to solve it. And there's a way to bridge that gap when it comes to trust. You can't keep trusting officials when they turn their back, and then you hear that what was done was discarded, canceled. Law department didn't tell me it was canceled. My city council person didn't tell me it was canceled. Brandon Johnson, who they have selected to correspond with me, didn't tell me that anything had been canceled. So we're just a non constituent or resident in this city. They can just easily cancel us because they don't like what they read. Come on. So in conclusion, these intersecting issues reflect the persistent inequalities that Black residents in Wichita face, highlighting the need for comprehensive reform across housing, education, health, and environmental policies. As Michelle Obama said at the DNC convention, go do something. And doing something is making sure that this reparation movement and the ordinance that has been submitted to the mayor and city council members, they should respond to it. Just like they do when it comes to the big developers and big businesses in this city. respond to what was submitted to you. So I want to thank everybody that joined us either in Facebook or, or coming on here on.
You're muted, Mary.
Okay. Yeah, I just want people to know too that I will be sending this out once it's downloaded. I will upload it to my YouTube channel, and I will send the link to share it on all of my social media accounts and outlets for people to see. That's Facebook, that's Instagram, that's X, that's LinkedIn, and also via email. So this presentation will be shared. And so thank those again that joined, and, do something. Make sure that we here in Wichita are getting the same thing that other cities across the country are doing. And even the governors in New York, California have created commissions. What's going on with ours here? So I just want to say that thank you, everyone.
Before you close, Mary, I sent something to you in the chat, but also to say, I guess, to the mayor and the city council, we're talking about reparations now. However, even if we were not, I guess my question is, how do you get the city leaders to respond? I mean, it's one thing if they're not interested in reparations. It's another thing if they don't even say, we have it, we received it, no, you can't have it, but just ignore communications. I'm just not sure, that's a whole separate issue, even from reparations. How do you just like not respond to citizens of the city? How does that, what is and I guess we need to get clear on what is the process for communications with the city. That should be an issue on somebody's ballot or something for elections. How do you get responses? Who do you have to be to get? Because I'm just wondering, it's not my first time not getting a response.
Well, they have responded before, at least the city council. Some of the city council members have, Brandon Johnson.
No, I'm saying for reparations, but I'm saying I've had times.
That's what I'm saying, even for the reparations, when I was sending stuff out before and stuff. But evidently they canceled everything where they pass it on to the diversity and inclusion, and they wash their hands of it. It would appear to me.
The diversity and include, they sent you an email, but again, the channel that you started with when I went down there with you, they never responded the 30, 60 days. You had to go back to get a response. They didn't on their own respond in that 30 to 60 days like they said. When you went back, they gave one, but in between there was like no communication at all that I know of. So there's just something with the communications process, and I've sent stuff down there, proclamations, and didn't get any response, maybe from Brandon, but it's like people just kind of ignore it if they don't know you, they don't like it or something. So I'm interested in, and obviously with the reparations, but what is the trick to get city council people or the mayor to respond?
Well, that's something I like to talk to the other regional and national leaders about, because it would appear that all the other cities have gotten response from their mayor, from their governor, because they go directly to the head.
Okay.
of what they have been doing, and it would appear that Wichita is the only one that's not getting any response when it comes to the ordinance, just an ordinance to study reparations. So I don't know why they're doing it. I really believe that we're exhausting every avenue that you can to show that we have done everything under the sun to do the right thing in creating this commission. And for whatever reason, they're not wanting to listen,
And
but they
sometimes
want
with
to
these
ignore.
things, that people have the idea that if you wait long enough, people get tired and they give up. And so after 500 years, I don't know, the whole idea that it's not important enough. If they burn us out, we won't do anything. But
Mm,
maybe, just let's see what the future holds because.
yeah. Well, we'll see. But anyway, we'll wait and see if the
All right.
mayor, hopefully the
Thank you so
mayor
much for the good
responds to,
report.
thank you. Thank you.
But I would
Uh,
add criminal justice to your list because on the reparations, I think we have 5 things. There's only 4. So the to add the criminal justice in there. That was on the list that you sent me.
okay.
You had health and something else, but you had criminal justice too. But anyway, all right, well, we can stop all our